think I am. You said 30 seconds.
That was 30 seconds.
I feel like your counting's about as good as mine. Good morning, everyone.
No, my counting way. But... What's up? What's up, Ashley Janae? I see the influencer in the game.
Whew. All right. Get rid of the headache before it starts. I've got the face space on my phone. I've got the YouTube on the TV. Oh. I've got Miss Ashley in the comments. I've got Miss Winters watching. Mr. Clack.
Oh, Clack in the comments. Clack should have.
It just says is watching with you.
Gotcha.
So we're going to give everyone a few minutes to tune on in. Might as well get everyone saying good morning to each other. Because I'm not dealing with this East Coast time bullshit.
Good afternoon, family.
No.
But while y'all are tapping in and just getting in, would you like, share, subscribe to that 810 News Media Group YouTube channel, family? We're almost there to 1,000 subscribers. We had like at 830, we like 100 and what is it? 170 away. Or we can go ahead and be strictly on YouTube, going live at council. No more. Let me get the share game on right quick.
Hey, Winters, are you out of share jail? Can we get you unzuckerberged and have you do your wonderful sharing? Right versus wrong is here. Hey, you came up in my notes today.
What up, brother Clack? That's what I'm saying. The good brothers in here. What it do, Clack?
All right. You know what? We're past my threshold of 5 people, so we can go ahead and get started.
Go ahead. Then it blew my eardrum.
The culture of the American South.
Oh, hold on. I messed something up. Go ahead.
Okay. You see, this is why I mute my phone. Can you come over? I mean, yeah, it's Friday. I'm pretty sure there's some sports on. What's going on? No, all right, guys. So we got some mayhem that happened in the city this week. Starting off with city council, which Wintis and I already covered, and then Wintis and Mickey went and covered everything that I derailed on Tuesday. As is standard, let's face it, I get off on tangents, and those tangents spread around in tangents. Good morning, Melissa. Oh, then there's my brother. Good morning, brother.
Okay, what it do, Kevin Roy?
Gonna call this studio the confessional booth. I'll give it time. There's gonna be decorations in here. Clack wants to do a sports show, so we need to make it modular because I also need a red pirate flag behind me. So let's get on to the biggest news that has happened since council. God damn it, Wintis. Which is right versus wrong. God damn it, Kevin. I'm just turning my phone away. You guys are going to distract me for a minute. Anyway, right versus wrong has FOIA'd the city phones and personal phones of 2nd Ward, 3rd Ward, 4th Ward, 7th Ward, and 9th Ward council folk. And this is mainly the personal phones are for messages only sent and received during meetings. That has to be said in there in the FOIA. Yeah, which they have done, but let's not have people running around going, oh man, I sent Liddell my grandmama's best green bean casserole recipe. And I don't want that getting out. That's not getting out. It's only for during council meetings. So if you sent it during a council meeting, you're kind of SOL. My bad. This is to see, one, if they're discussing how to vote while at meetings with each other and what they're saying. Because as we all heard Dennis Pfeiffer say, Candace, to his right, whose phone he can see, has said, looking at her phone, that she is constantly texting Liddell asking, how should I vote? You okay back there?
Yeah, we good.
Asking, how should I vote? They've done it openly before. There have been times where I think it was Quincy said, I don't know what's going on with this vote. You guys have lost the plot. And Eva Worthing turns on her mic, just vote yes. What? You're not allowed to do that. So if they're doing it so brazenly in front of us, it stands to reason that they're going to be doing it very open, or they're going to be doing it on their phones, trying to hide a little bit. And this isn't just text messages or phone calls. This also goes in text messaging apps such as WhatsApp. I'm willing to bet Snapchat is involved in there somewhere because that's a great place to get your text messages from. Discord, any texting app, I believe was the wording of it, right versus wrong, if you would correct me here. It's going in and out on YouTube. All right, hands are out, folks. Here, let me turn up the gain a little bit. Is that better? I don't see no comments, so I assume yes.
Good.
And Winters is blowing up the likes. All right, thank you. So
What you done did, Trevor?
what I did I did nothing. Promise. Not yet. Why?
Okay, now let's get back to the
Let's get back to it.
let's get back to it.
So looking at these phones is going to give us a decent insight as to what they're talking about behind our backs while at city council. What I'm more interested to see is, we all have noticed when public speakers go up, except for this most recent meeting, I was actually very proud of most of the council members who were trying to make eye contact with the speaker. That was great this time. Almost every meeting prior to that for the past year that I've been paying attention to council, we have seen them looking at their phones, playing around on their tablets or on their laptops, X, Y, and Z. I like to see what they have to say, such as Liddell. Oh, that's Beverly Biggs. She's going to X, Y, and Z, or vote no on whatever she has. I'm sorry to, I want to see that. I want to see what they're saying. So right versus wrong, when you get all this, would you do a whatchamacallit? Say a file dump onto YouTube or Facebook so we can all see what they've been saying? I don't want to see, the regular folks' business. I want to see what they've been saying about each other or about us, where we cannot see. And then I want to see how they're telling each other to vote. Honestly, had I thought about this, I would have done it years ago. Ooh, Zoom. All right, make sure you make that a nice big event. I'm pretty sure we can work something out with 810 here. Because let's face it, we like our views and we like getting people the information. This will work out for both of us. So let's get together on the back end and see if we can work something out. However, because of this, Liddell and Eva flew into Facebook as they do to throw a fit. Let me exit the chat here for a second and slip on over to my notifications. Ah, that sucks. Nope.
So this is what I want to ask, right versus wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something that is illegal going on in them text messages?
Well, the FOIA has barely been submitted. They have a few, I think they get like 10 days to give right versus wrong answer, a yes or a no. And then they get another few days on the back end of that to get the requested information, though they can extend their own deadline. So we might be waiting 25, 30 days. Now, Liddell Lewis has said, let me see.
I know she ain't on Facebook. I know she ain't that arrogant to keep going on Facebook responding.
Oh, you live in a wishful world, my friend.
Hey, somebody.
Number one, she called this a waste of taxpayers' money and time. And she said that she is only available via email and Facebook for the time being.
Mm.
I've got a simple question to ask. Liddell, when the hell were you ever available in the first fucking place? When people's basements were flooding, where the hell were you? Your phone was ringing off the hook. Did you answer? The second ward was without a representative. They were without someone to put them in contact with the proper points of authority in government to fix their homes. And now you have the audacity to say you won't be available. You were never fucking available in the first place. So,
Okay.
if she wants to start complaining about that, and then Eva Worthing. Eva, you have more crime, more blight in your ward than in what goes on the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th combined. And you're sitting there complaining about how this is an inconvenience to you. Eva Worthing, you are an inconvenience to the city of Flint. Shut the hell up. Go sit in your reinforced chair. No one wants to hear from you.
Oh, especially the 9-4. Hey, you see right versus wrong question up there. Put it on the screen.
It's alleged that a violation of Open Meetings Act is being violated. Also, a 7th Ward is asking how to vote. That needs to be made aware to the 7th Ward. A lot is speculated with the messages, but we can't really say until we see the messages. Everything is done with solid proof. And I gotta respect that.
Yes, on that one.
You know, if nothing else, I'm an empiricist above all. Without hard and solid proof, things are just speculation.
Yeah.
Right? We can sit here and speculate. I do that a lot. But you can't sell it as hard truth without evidence. And I gotta applaud right versus wrong on going forth and finding that evidence for us.
Right.
I mean, even though Dennis has publicly called it out, it is still speculation until the proof is in our faces.
Right.
You know, there's only even jury trials, they only give so much weight to an eyewitness.
Right.
But Liddell Lewis has said, talking about these FOIAs, and someone asked, who's doing this? Her response, probably through those anonymous groups, Flint Exposed, Right versus Wrongs, all in cahoots with that pseudo media company that I refuse to name. These people don't even live in Flint. All right. Let me put this in perspective for you. Yes, Wintus and Mickey do not live within the city limits of Flint. They both grew up here. As far as I know, Ashley lives here. Clack lives here. Sister Audrey Muhammad lives here. Gina Luster lives here. The King Maurice Davis lives here. I live here. And Tanya Burns lives here. And as far as I know, with me being the newest to the city of Flint from the names I just put out, I've been here longer than you. You weren't even living in the city long enough. You weren't even a registered voter long enough to be in that seat that your ass is occupying now. So why don't you shut up about where people live? Hell, your happy ass was running around not a few weeks ago applauding the doxing of my producer. So you can go find a cactus and sit on it.
Well, we got to that part. What was the other good part you got, Trevor?
Oh, God. We got a few things. Let me get back to the comments on Facebook, though. That way I can keep up with what's going on here. No, not on the YouTube side. That's on the TV. Had to jerry rig that. All right. And then not to mention, well, let's go a little bit further into that just for a second, Mickey. Mickey and Wintus both worked in the city of Flint. They've paid taxes to the city of Flint via the income taxes. They both shopped in the city of Flint, paying the city of Flint in, sales taxes. They have helped contribute more toward Liddell's fucking paycheck than Liddell has her fucking self. So her trying to expose people and say, oh, they don't live in Flint. They contribute to Flint. They have family that lives in Flint. There's a vested interest for them in Flint. There's a vested interest for all of us in Flint. Nothing pisses me off more than a hypocrite, especially a weak-willed one who can't take criticism and runs to national news to lie about someone. So how about you keep your mouth shut and hopefully people forget you exist for a few months before you fuck up again. I really hate hypocrites. But earlier this week, hey, my notes are on the back. That is nice. The administration threw a fit that council had broke apart before the actual council meeting. They broke apart in special affairs. That's honestly, in this case, only this case, I'm okay with council breaking quorum beforehand. They had a long laundry list of shit to get through in their special affairs meeting. And it's not like too much got held up until it came time to appointments, where Candace had an issue with Eric not wanting to appoint someone who was politically opposed to him. Let's face it, political appointments are typically a favor. I mean, hell, especially in Flint, we never see the most qualified get a political appointment. So why is he going to go out and vote for someone who is actively trying to harm him? I know I wouldn't. But that's aside from it. It was getting late. We all know Quincy works a third shift job. I don't know where. I honestly don't care where. He had to get moving. I know two of the people on council are rather old in the most respectful way possible. That'd be Eric Mays and Judy Priestley. Actually, Judy's the oldest person on that council, to be honest with you guys. Bedtime was coming. And what, they broke up at about 11 o'clock, Mickey?
I was already gone.
Yeah, you were already asleep, weren't you?
I was gone. I'd left.
Okay. But the administration throws a fucking fit because they didn't get to main council to extend the garbage contract. The garbage contract that has been at the forefront of some controversy in the city of Flint for what? 2 years now? 3 years? Long enough. Because the current holder of the contract wasn't even the lowest bidder. Let's be fair and honest here.
Hold up, was this garbage contract?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not even the lowest bidder. Several of the more influential people around town, those who are in the know with government but are on the outs of the administration, even brought forth the idea of replacing this garbage contract all too fucking together, using ARPA money to buy our own city garbage trucks and just have it handled in-house. It's cheaper over time, and it actually creates jobs for the city of Flint. No, we're going to go ahead and pay $10 million a year, if not more, on this garbage contract. And what they're holding over city council is Flint residents stand to lose out on $4.3 million grant-funded recycling and trash carts. All right, let's break that down by household. That's like a $20 trash can, probably the flimsiest plastic you can buy. That's going to be in shards and shatters up and down your street inside 3 months. The fuck do I care about a trash bin? How about we just open up the bid again? Why does it need to be extended? I'm pretty sure there are 4 or 5 waste collection companies around Genesee County that would jump on the chance for far fucking cheaper to service the city of Flint.
Answer this question for me.
Yeah, I got you, boss.
What would make administration or the mayor, whoever, become want to pay for something higher? You think there's some gain from that?
All right. Do you want me to give you what I think, or do you want me to give you what could actually cause it on a legitimate side, or do you want me to give you both?
Give me both.
All right. So on the legitimate side, there's that old saying, you get what you pay for, right?
Right.
Some companies, piss poor quality of service.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly haven't heard that about any of the trash companies here. So we can just set that one aside. Other times, a higher end contract will have more on the back end. So more services, more trash collection days, X, Y, and Z.
Mm.
Or, a promise that if trash spills out of the trash can, they have a push broom and a massive dustpan to pick up the trash and not leave trash in the middle of your street. While some others just say, if it don't make it to the truck, it don't make it to the truck. That's why you could end up paying higher legitimately.
Okay.
But with this administration's track record, I don't see that. What I see is trying to provide a friend or someone who has donated to his campaign or someone who has done things for him in the past or someone who has endorsed him in the past, brought him votes X, Y, Z,
Mhm.
a better opportunity to bring themselves money, to enrich themselves. And the reason why you would extend a contract in this case is they need a little bit more time before it can lapse, before they can submit a new bid.
Mm.
They just need a little bit of a buffer. They need a little bit more money before they do it again.
Mm.
So
So basically, you're saying he might be getting a kickback, allegedly.
a kickback or repaying a favor.
Oh, okay.
Election season, collection season, coined by our very own Wintis Hall. Make sure you guys stay tuned in weekly, Thursdays for the Wintis Hall show. Brightest star in Flint. All right, now that I've kissed her ass enough.
I put a question up there for you from Thomas. From
Did you see the article where Liddell blasted council for not meeting Monday when she was actually? No, I did not. I honestly, Dr. Petroni, you have to understand when it comes to here in Flint, most of us don't really watch M Lies or ABC 12 or the Fox channel because it is all geared and biased toward Neely, where his cronies get to say. I mean, we've had our fallout before with Doc Weaver. We're not getting into that today. However, during the election, she could not get equal time. She couldn't. She couldn't even get an interview with any of them, while every day Neely was having a press conference, touting his own horn, basically having an interview. So a lot of us tend to ignore what they're putting out because we know it's going to be a steaming pile of bullshit shoved into our face. That's the sad truth of it. Periodically, M Lies will come up with a nugget of gold where they will accidentally tell the truth. Periodically, you'll see ABC 12 accidentally report some actual news. But for the most part, we're left to hang. For the most part, it's 810 and what we can gather through sources actually out on the streets, through people who are actually living through this bullshit. Or Art Woodson, who actually goes forth from neighborhood to neighborhood in between his travels to and from X, Y, and Z, getting national attention to Flint. And it's pretty sad that we're having to put our own news together when these legacy media groups who have been in place. Jesus Christ, Mickey, the sun just came up. God damn.
It must have been on the time.
Whoa.
Brother. It must have been on a timer, man.
Oh. I was about to burst into flames with my pale ass. I done lost where I were.
I guess the time runner. Hey, listen, we getting all the kinks out the new technology up here.
Yeah, you guys said on our first podcast this week in the new studio that the lighting was screwed, so we brought in extra lights, and apparently Mickey puts timers on them.
Listen,
you're a little bit late, Phil, but it's okay. I got blinded and forgot where I was. Oh, these legacy media companies that have had billions of dollars dumped into them throughout the decades to garner trust, to try to build trust. When it comes down to local levels, 90% of the time they're on one side or the other, and we, the people, whether it be in Flint or Detroit or Tucson, Arizona, or down in New Orleans or in Miami, wherever you may be, you're not getting the whole truth. You're getting a stylized version of it to make whatever politician, whatever money group feel better, to make them look better, to get your votes. That's God agreeing with me. You know, that'd be the first time he's agreed with me in many years. I think I used up all my luck in Afghanistan.
Mm.
Then the city decided to bring up a previous, quote, charter violation for not meeting. And the previous charter violation was failing to pass the city budget on time. But there was a lot of discussion that had to be done that, let's face it, certain members of council changed the rules to where there couldn't be any discussion, and the administration was dancing around it so hard or refusing just to show up. Our budget isn't balanced. Not all the money is accounted for. And that is why my councilwoman, the wonderful Jerry Winfrey Carter, abstained. Because there's just too many questions. She's not going to vote on a blank check. And that has unfortunately got her third recall put in this week. You know what? That's fine. She can keep batting him down and just make that one idiot look like an idiot.
Oh shit, Trevor! You know you're gonna get well.
What's he gonna do?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Now he might make a. I mean, you know,
he might make a live about me that's going to see 2 views, and one of them is going to say, "I ain't voting for this idiot."
You know,
go for it.
And that's what I do want to bring to that. I can't see, and this is not throwing no shade, and then I understand what's going on. But how come his people, I'm talking about the mayor,
Okay.
Neely, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't see no wrong that he doing. They steady acting like he passed the budget, like this was a balanced budget that he passed.
All right.
Hasn't he had to borrow money from the ARPA to cover
he had to shift money from the ARPA with the last budget, and the way he did that was through that water credit. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you were used in a money laundering scheme. Anyway, let me put it to you like this, Mickey, and I'm going to use both different sides here. Okay, do you think the people in New York that voted for AOC see any wrong in things that she has done? No.
Yeah, they have.
I mean, the fanatics, which is pretty much all you get here in Flint.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
they don't. Just like you don't see the people that voted for Ted Cruz see the wrong that he's done. In politics, it's less of what is right for the people, and it's more of this is my sports team. Just like if I ask you, hey, Mickey, have the Lions fucked up this year? You're going to say, hell no, they're doing perfect. They're doing excellent. The Lions can do no wrong. Granted, I think that's just denial talking, but okay. That's the deal. So the Neely supporters here, they don't see that it's an unbalanced budget. What they hear is moving the city forward. And we're going to get to that on the back end. What they hear is the city has taken a step.
But see.
And whether it's unbalanced or not, like that, what?
See, this is where you losing me at with that.
Okay.
Because now, you took a shot at my Lions too.
Mm-hmm.
But let me rephrase that. If you would have asked me last year what the Lions are doing, I would have been honest and said they're playing like crap. See, that's the difference. I'm just saying right now, you can see what's going on. You can go out in Flint and see the stuff that's going on. You got some of his people. You have some traders every blue moon might say something.
How long have you lived in and around Flint?
A long time, Trevor.
Your entire life, right? Except for a little bit of time in college. That about right?
Trevor, a long time.
There we go. So when Flint has been getting beat the hell down for so many years, and you are looking for hope, you are begging for hope, and then someone pops up and they say that they've done X, Y, and Z. And if you don't look too closely, if you squint your eyes and cock your head sideways, you can see an X and a Y and part of a Z. Aren't you going to run with that?
No,
So deprived of hope and being in the bottom of a well at the bottom of a ditch.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. Where do you feel that's hope at? He been in for 4 years, right? Going on 5.
Oh, I'm just saying these are people desperate for hope.
No, but I'm trying to show you where that's insanity at.
Mm-hmm.
Because where is the hope coming from that you saying, okay, he came in, the pipe's still not fixed. You still
but he
bathing in
keeps
bad
on hitting
water.
with that line, over 90% done.
Yeah, that's been 90% when he got in there.
But that's what he keeps on reiterating. And some people want to forget that they were over 90% when he sat his ass down in that seat. So all they hear is 90% coming out of his mouth, and they assume that he brought it up to that. That's that partial truth and obfuscation.
Yeah.
That's people who are blinded by despair, who are just latching onto it.
Okay, I just seen a comment. I'm gonna put it on, and this relating to the garbage contract, and this gonna go what I was saying. Relating to the garbage contract, Mays had Neely under oath about the garbage contract. The new council stopped the investigation. Mm-hmm. That's what lead me right back to this right here again. It lead me back to this. They had it on there. When it was the shady 6, they didn't want to do it. But now this then got out of hand. This is what I'm saying. Every time Neely could have been jammed up, it seemed like them 5 to 6 votes that he had kept bailing him out. From even the dealership with AC Dumas broke that. I got to give him his credit on that.
I'll give him his credit on
that. About the cars, about how they was buying the cars.
The Alcera Gate. Yep.
Yeah, Alcera Gate. And you see how that got swept under the rug. You had Councilman Quincy Murphy coming in after the election because everything was based on who was going to win and who was going to lose. So when you get that going on and you steady looking at all these people, how they got him off. That's why we got what we got going on right now. As far as Ashley Capital able to come in, and then it looked like they bought everybody up with a couple people I know.
I mean, speaking of Ashley Capital, I might as well go ahead and slip this in here. AC Dumas was supposed to do an interview with Ashley Capital, and it was supposed to be a positive interview and give them some positive publicity because so many people in the city dislike them. I mean,
was it really so many people in the city dislike them, or was it about things that we had seen?
Things that we had seen that caused us to dislike them, and things that we had talked about.
Talking about it don't mean you dislike them.
True, but it does cause a negative connotation, right? So when AC Dumas was doing that, he never got around to doing it, I believe. He never got around to hosting them on his show.
Right.
Before his show died. And he is the vice president of an organization that is now being accused of taking money from Ashley Capital. The same Ashley Capital that is looking to buy Buick City, that the deal has gone through. They're supposed to be getting the tax capture. Last I heard, Eagle is supposed to have the last say in it. Don't hold out your hope for Eagle. Let's face it, they failed us before, right? But this very same AC Dumas has killed personally through negative publicity several contracts and several bids to buy the Buick City land before. So what has changed with Ashley Capital? I just thought I'd throw that out there because I've been very upfront and honest. While AC Dumas is a broken clock and he is right twice a day, there's a lot that he is wrong about, including interfering with bids on the school board.
I mean, but Trevor, I mean, you can't say that, but then we can go with council. That's why I don't really listen to too many people that's been voting with the mayor on
No.
some of the things that he did, because it's like, we can damn near pinpoint out. To me, it's just corruption all the way around.
Yeah.
Now, fires on him. Now, what he was saying, but I don't. I have to see it. Why have no blacks got no contracts? See, that's the problem we have. What's really going on with this council? I'm glad you brought that up, because it seemed like anytime it's something for a white business, we just got to be honest with it. They have no problem of doing something for it. It's just like with this, and this what Judy always throw me off. I'm gonna say this. There's always something. I'm gonna say Republicans. It just ain't Judy. It's Republicans. But this what she always
me under the bus with this shit.
I gotta put you, because you're Republican. I gotta put everybody, and we just keeping it honest about this. They always talk about, when you hear Republicans talk about, you don't want to see no welfare, but we never talk about corporate welfare. We never talk about corporate welfare. So you see these companies come in and getting this money, but it's only a problem if you help the least of them. Go ahead.
Let me address that, because there has been a split in the Republican Party, I want to say, since the Tea Party days, and the Tea Party was extremist as hell. Don't get me wrong, I'm not on their side at all. But there's been a split that when the Tea Party broke up and reintegrated back into the overall Republican Party, they're what we call rhinos. Republican in name only. They're the ones that scream no welfare. They're the ones that scream, we got to help this business, corporate welfare, as you say. Where when you look at the grassroots folks, you're out in the rural, Farmer John, you're in the middle of the city, rando Republican Trevor, who really have no say in jack shit. I don't mind welfare. I think that it should be revamped to where, as soon as you get a job, you aren't cut the fuck off at the knees, putting you in a worse position than when you were on welfare. I don't think that when you start getting some income for yourself, you get $1,200 a month, and before you're at $700 using, say, cash assistance and food stamps, right? And then you start getting that $1,200 a month, and they cut you down to $100 in food stamps. So now you're in a worse position than you were before. No, it needs to be revamped to where it gradually slows down to make sure you get your feet up under it. And corporate welfare, look, I'm not for fucking propping up any business. This is a capitalist state, right?
Right. Country.
State as in country, right. National speaking, or global speaking, a state as a country. Anyway, if you as a business have such a shitty business plan, or you've only put stock into the short term rather than the long term, you deserve to go under and open up that spot for smaller businesses to come in and fill your fucking void. And I can honestly point to one example during the Ukraine war, where so many Western companies pulled out of Russia. Coca-Cola was all over Russia. It was, I think, one of only 3 cola brands in all of Russia. Russia's a pretty big fucking place. Since they pulled out, you've seen over 200 pop up different cola companies. And in the past, I think it's been like 18 months that they've been getting this shit slapped out of them by Ukrainians. Over those 200, 180 are still in business because no one's getting propped up by the government.
That's the point.
And you're making far more jobs, and you've got actual competition.
That's the point that I'm saying.
I hate corporate bailouts. I hate corporate welfare. Because, say, Chase Bank makes some bad investments, right?
Right.
If they go under, I say, let them go under. Let other banks buy up their assets. FDIC can pay my fucking insurance for them going under, and I'm going to take my money to a bank that's more stable.
No, okay, see, now this going to put this up, but this goes back to like what you said. Winter said he had to pay his favors back. Okay, Alan Litch, if I'm saying it right, the company that got the garbage contract didn't even have enough trucks to handle the city.
No, they didn't.
For months, but they grew to handle the city, and with that amount of money, you could grow too. That's the thing. It's all
corporate welfare right there in its own way, isn't it?
Yeah, but
It is a government propping up something that really shouldn't be there in the first fucking place.
right. If we had a chance, if somebody gave us, we could be, Channel 12. But see, they putting these things out who they can control. That's what I did, like what Art was talking about, by like far as the mayor with this, far as with the opera money, who is going to. It's not going to no people that's really trying to help the citizens here.
No.
This is a cash grab. Did by Democrats, like Chris Caleb just said. It's even a split in the Democratic Party, which it is.
And
Because
that's the thing, right? So we have these national level politicians. All name 3 in your head from either side, who tell us that they are the only one for you. No one else cares about you. Vote for me.
You hear that every year.
We hear it every year. Hell, we hear it at the local level. And you also hear it from their opponent, right? And then they tell you that if someone isn't for them, that they're the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
When if you walk down the street, bump into Joe Schmo, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is going to have the same feelings as you do. Hey, my city's being ignored. Hey, my bracket of people isn't getting the attention it needs to actually flourish. We're always seeing, as Mr. Davis put last night, the middle class people who earn $200,000 a year,
right,
getting all the help, whereas people who don't earn that are being left to drown.
And they never said not one bleep about that.
No. And the honest truth of it all is that your neighbor, whether we'll say my neighbor, who will put up a Democrat flag, has more in common with me, just a regular street Joe Republican, than he does with the Democrat that he's going to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
And I have more in common with my Democrat neighbor than the Republican I'm going to vote for. In the long run, both parties have lost their fucking way when it comes to average Joe, because most of America isn't middle class. Let's be honest here. Most of America is barely existing on an income of $80K a year or less. And $80K a year here is double what the average population makes.
Just go look at it. Do you understand that really the minimum wage is supposed to go up by the cost of living?
I mean, it's supposed to.
These are the same people, but this is why I get so frustrated, because it's like we batting our head going against the same thing. You asking for government to help you, but government allowed this thing happen. Right. Being the RICO law was all right when it was locking up who they consider uncivilized people. The RICO law was good for that, for the drug dealers, for everybody else, but it wasn't good enough for Snyder. It was too good for Snyder. You couldn't use it. You see the
it was being used until a friend of his, who happens to be in the opposite party, but what do you know? Controlled opposition is a thing, right? It's the rich versus us. She happened to just kill Rico.
That's what I'm saying.
She took him in the back and shot him in the back of the head.
But you come down here, you come through the pastors, let these politicians come into the church. This has been going on for almost 100-some years, if not longer. But I'm just gonna go with the last 50. This has been going on, and you steady seeing that the laws, how these change. Look at all these people that's in these positions. Somewhere the black church was in there to help them get in these positions. Then when they get in, they do not help the people. All these politicians, y'all sit up here, we vote every year. Look at Biden got in, what happened? We voted for Gretchen Whitmer, got in, what happened? Ain't no more water pods, and you get told they Flint fatigue. Shit, the people living in Flint is Flint fatigue. You'll be Flint fatigue if you was bathing and can't drink the water, but you're paying for it.
Yep. I mean, how are you supposed to brush your teeth?
Well, you
have to use bottled water.
Yeah, then you got the news, how they reporting. You would think Flint was Dayton Street was Mulholland Drive or something in California, where you got $20 million houses at. I'm not saying they can't get there, but I'm just saying, like, right now,
it is a struggle to get there.
Yeah.
Hey, will you do me a favor and put up Keisha Denise's comment? Even though it circles back to something we talked about earlier, my friend, it is very to the point about that. Sent a call to action through the Young Turks on a national level who aren't in Flint. So she tells people who aren't in Flint to shut your mouth unless she invites you here.
But this show you the hypocrisy. She and I gotta say, well, her and her crew, they also ran to the NAACP. They might have ran to Black Lives Matter. Just show you the hypocrisy that these
she
same
better not have run to Black Lives Matter because she was wholly against them painting their mural on that street.
But I'm just saying, but this show you the hypocrisy. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just saying on the back end, she better not have.
That's what I'm talking about. The ignorantness of. But these are the people that they voted for. I see people on there that she got her people that's fighting for her and everything. But I just be sitting back like, wow. It comes a time in life somebody should be able to tell you, not just us, because she takes shots. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? I love the haters to mention us every time because they talked us into success.
Oh yeah, they hated us into success.
Yeah, they hated us, but how she go on there? You didn't took $1,500 through a Halloween party.
Twice.
And voted on 72 million.
Took 1,500 for
but yeah,
2022.
that ain't even half the mess, right?
1,500 for 2023.
That
Halloween candy.
That ain't even half the mess. But you tried to put in for 50,000 of the ARPA money, but you didn't want to put in for no people in the second ward to get help.
To get at least their vacuums pumped or their basements pumped. When they were literally had nowhere else to go when there's a foot of sewer water and human shit in their basement.
That's what I'm saying.
But she has the goal to fucking request 50,000, and then when it's pointed out that's a little too obvious. Let's put it as a TBD to try to slip it in.
But this show you the silliness of her. But this goes back to the leadership. It goes back to the mayor. That's why I say you look at these organizations. I say you got to look at their board members. And I ain't trying to be wrong. I'm just saying look at the board members. Either the board members are hindering the presidents of these different organizations where they can't go do what they need to do. You got to go back and look at the board members. That's just like with Neely, the mayor. With your chief of staff, we already know what Clyde is. He a yes, a boss type man. Not that you need to say it, Trevor. I'm just putting it out there. He's one of them yes people.
Yeah, Clyde is definitely who's signing my paycheck.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't none of them up in there. Ain't that administration got the gauze to tell him, look, man, we can't go down here. We doing this. But just think about it.
Ask Tanya, as she used to work down there, right? How that office is run, and ask her how fucking hostile it is if you happen to disagree, even on the smallest point, with the mayor.
But that we talk about,
you're out on your ass without a fucking paycheck and without a recommendation.
But the thing is, we talk about right now. We know that she's not there. I'm talking about who got the gauze now.
No, I'm saying previous.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but who got the gauze now?
In this economy?
No, in this administration.
No, I'm saying in this economy, because what places do you know that are hiring for City of Flint wages?
Tell me who got. I get that, but if he still just say he lose his job, you out of a job. So basically, what you're saying is
they're sitting there for the now, not for the future.
Right. So you already saying everything we know. Them people are not there for them.
But let's go on to something, because we've kind of gone into the past here. Let's go into something that came up this week, the opiate settlement. And I went on a little bit about this prior on 2 different shows, but they wanted to lease that Huntington Bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was it for? Oh my goodness. It was to pay your fucking water bill. Okay. Most people have some sort of internet access. Period. End of story. Most people. Those who don't know of a place around the corner, such as a convenience store, mini store, whatever, where you can pop in and pay your water bill. Any place with Western Union will usually have a way for you to pay your bills, whether it be consumers, water. Hell, I think some of them even do Xfinity. So them wanting to lease a Huntington Bank location, a former Huntington Bank branch for a water bills payment center, that would probably only need 2 or 3 personnel. But that is a very large facility for such a small operation. Clyde, who you just brought up, Mr. Yes Man, lied on the spot and said, "Oh, we were also thinking of putting a mini police station in there." Does it all this sound like it's worth $8,750 to y'all a month? Now, let's put that into perspective. Most people make between 16 and 1800 a month if they are doing well for themselves. And that's on the low end national wide, but 16 to 1800 a month for themselves in the city of Flint. But Mickey, you and I were talking about this as we left City Hall. Who would have been in charge of that program?
I'm just gonna cut the chase. I ain't finna do all that. That was just something he doing. I'm looking at the comment what Mama Quill just said. She said, as soon as the lease is signed, you will find out the real reason what that building is for. 8750 to me is evidently he cool with them or something, because what you gonna put another mini police station that you already underfunded, pay the water bill, you can go online. That's what I'm talking about. Like the stuff that you just read, that is. Go ahead, Trevor.
So, as you were pointing out to me when we were leaving City Council that night, there was someone in the administration that had ties to Huntington Bank. It seems that he is rather close with them. And someone on the back end was going to be catching, I think it was like 110,000 going to Huntington a year for that location. Someone on the back end was going to catch a portion of that. And that's every contract now must come under the utmost scrutiny when it comes to the city of Flint. Because you got to watch who is friends with who and who is collecting these contracts or who's submitting these bids and what bids are getting accepted and at what price. Because you know, at some point in time, someone on the back end is getting a kickback. And they were so desperate to get that $87.50 a month spent for something that is obviously useless and has nothing to do with the opiate settlement that they lied on the spot. And don't get me wrong, it was a damn good lie. I mean, a police mini station sounds wonderful until you take a closer look at it. That's one of those, when you squint your eyes and turn your head, it sounds great, right? You know, you can see it's a good idea if you don't look too closely, but you have to realize that 90%, okay, I'm not going to give an actual percentage here. This is hyperbole. But 90% in my mind of the police mini stations here in Flint are inoperable. You do not see a cop car at them. You do not see a cop at them. You don't see community meetings there at them unless a certain city councilwoman, second ward, requests to use it. Otherwise, they are abandoned buildings. The one closest to me is across the street from Kettering at an Einstein Brothers Bagels or whatever. I never see a cop parked there, but I do see a cop car parked in front of the bagel store and the cop inside getting bagels. And then when he's done, he doesn't walk around the corner and open up the mini station. No, he gets in his car and he goes back on patrol. So it sounded like a beautiful lie, but I'd rather have the inconvenient truth that is just a waste of money and someone catching a fucking bribe or a kickback on the back end.
Trevor.
Yes, sir.
Trevor. You just seen two, and maybe who else knows what other council people who took bribes, took money from Ashley Capital.
Mm-hmm.
We had a city attorney who says you can take it as long as it comes through a nonprofit.
Yep. And as a certain council person says, the nonprofit is not the person. The person is not the nonprofit. Wrong.
So basically what I'm saying, if you think them little jokers did it on the low level and you the man that can call the shots, you don't think you going for the bigger bang for your buck? You the mayor.
You're the mayor.
You don't.
And remember, the mayor doesn't necessarily have to do everything through contract through city council.
Oh yeah, they said that.
He does have, I think it's like 100,000 a day emergency spending. That if something that he really needs to get done, we'll say an emergency situation, the way it's set up and what it's actually for, right? An emergency situation that requires immediate action and council either cannot convene or cannot agree, the mayor can take 100 grand and put it into this problem immediately. What we see from this mayor is if he can't get the 5 votes he needs on city council to pay off his friends, he'll give them a lesser payout through that emergency action.
Dude, this is a trip. But this is what they want. I mean, this is what you get when you put somebody this incompetent in.
Even a layman, even someone dumb as a rock as me, can find better uses for that opiate settlement.
But yeah, now that tell you all you need to know. He going to pay for a building out the opiate settlement. So do he really care about people?
I mean, let's take a look at Flint. And let's be honest with our look at Flint. Well, let's not sugarcoat jack shit, right? Flint is a city that has been in decline economically for years. With an economic decline comes stress on the people, comes depression, become certain, I'm not even going to say certain, some people will fall into escapism. They will look for any way to get rid of that feeling of depression. And some folks, unfortunately, fall into addiction, which these opioids came in. This has been a long and systemic problem here in the city of Flint, and they're looking to use the suffering of the people as a way to profit.
Well,
and that fucking disgusts me.
Answer this question for me, Trevor. That none of the people that strung out on the drugs are manufacturers. None of the people that's dying from these drugs are manufacturers.
No, you don't get high if you're on supply.
Right. But now we don't look at a Rite Aid. We don't look at a Walgreens, a CVS. We don't look at them as trap
We don't
spots.
look at Walmart and its pharmacy. No,
we don't look at them. Cassel's Pharmacy. We don't look at them as trap spots.
No.
But we'll go over here, look at this at Pookie and Ray house and say, they're my drug houses. We don't look at that.
Dude, so check it out. I have to be so careful when I go into the VA for my back pain. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've had a broken back. I have permanent nerve damage. There are some days where I can't get out of bed. It is bad. And I have to tell my doctor when I go in there that I don't want opiates. They try pushing them on me. And then the second I say I have pain, they look at me like I'm a drug addict. Like, no, I don't want your fucking opiates. Stop trying to push them onto me. So no one's looking at their doctors as a trap spot neither.
No, but
These are pushed onto communities, and then when the community gets hooked, they look at you like you're the scum of society. You are what's wrong with Flint or what's wrong with America. No. How about the assholes pushing this shit and the assholes that put us in this position in the first place that are feeling some sort of way are the fucking scum of society and are the fucking problem with the city of Flint and America.
But that's the point that I'm saying. They give out here and then say, look what you are.
Yeah.
Get you strung out on it and then come back and say, oh, look what these are drug addicts. I'm just saying, but the thing is, it's money and drugs. That's
and
why
drugs and money.
That's why you never gonna see them really. You think I want to give you something that'll help you get off whatever you doing?
No.
Okay.
Look, it's the same trap as dating apps or dating sites, right?
Right.
So they sell you on the idea of finding your true love. In this case, they sell you on the idea of being without pain, or if it's behavioral health, the idea of being without anxiety. These are highly addictive drugs. What they do is they hook you in and get your money. And when it comes to a dating website, you go into the subscription, you go into the paid service. But now they're making money off you. They don't want you to find your true love. They want to keep you searching and paying. When it comes to these fucking drug dealers, let's call them what they are, the anxiety doesn't go away. The pain doesn't go away. It's just masked for a little bit. And then when you are without their product, it all comes back at once. They aren't trying to fix the problem, because if they fix the problem, they kill the money tree.
Right.
Just like they want to do surgery on my back to repair some of the damage. And I told them, hell no. Because I know you're not going to repair it. What you're going to do is you're going to do a little Band-Aid slap patch job and then keep me strung out for the rest of my life and dumb and coming back, and you're going to collect government money from the VA for the rest of your fucking life. No. Well, actually, it'd be the pharmacy doing it or the drug manufacturer, but he catches a payout for every fucking prescription he writes for it. No, I'm not playing that.
But that's why I always go back when I say America's a capitalistic country, because it's about money. This what this whole thing about is about money. That's just like even with let's go back to prohibition when alcohol was considered illegal, but now it's legal because it's money. Weed was illegal. It was illegal. You could get it's people. That's what I'm saying. This is where they show you the hypocrisy at, because all the people that y'all done locked up, and they not even really the ones who making money.
Here's the
from
fucked up part. We live in Michigan. It is now legal to go to Gage, High Profile, Sweet Leaf, whatever, and buy yourself a couple ounces, a gram of weed, or
Right.
some edibles, or if it's your thing, dabs, that straight wax. It's completely legal. You can walk in, grab your shit, go home, smoke up, get high, enjoy, play some video games, eat some munchies. But a few years ago, you would have gotten locked up for this. And the people who did get locked up for this haven't been released.
That's what I'm telling you, the hypocrisy in this whole thing. That's why it goes back just to show you, but these are the people who writing them. Remember, these are people who writing the laws, and they was all strung out on drugs. You didn't have senators, and man, listen, they didn't have some about. That's why I really hate when they be, even when I hear Liddell, oh, have decorum, have this, when you hear everybody, even when Judy, when she telling people, you gonna do this, see what it be. To me, it's like when they put these people, sometimes a seat can be too much for a person because they feel like these titles.
They feel like they're more important
than what they really are. They forget, listen, this just is this just a job. They get caught up in, but that's how America is working right now. They feel like, hey, listen, you get a congressman, he can get it. Like, for instance, for Snyder, let's just stay in Michigan. Snyder, him seeing people, these are after effects after, it's been, 14 years for the water crisis? These are after effects to people that's dying.
I think it was first discovered in 14, but I think we swapped the water in 2013. So we're looking at about a decade, maybe.
That's the point that I'm saying. And people is dying, but he can move around. Gretchen Whitmer, she can take his back, and you know what I'm saying, but still come to Flint and ask for you to vote for her. Mm-hmm. Take the water pods away, but still come to Flint. You need to vote for me.
You need to vote for me. And it goes back to what we said earlier, that these politicians will come in. I'm the only one that cares about you. The other guy doesn't care about you. And then they turn around and behind your back, they fuck you. So in Whitmer's case, you need to vote for me. The Republicans don't like you. Yada, yada, yada. And then takes our water pods away.
Right. But
I mean, how are a lot of these? I'm lucky. I've got 2 incomes into my house, and one of my incomes is fucking guaranteed until I die. I can afford to go buy some bottled water. How about some households that aren't as lucky?
But this the thing. If you can and can't, the water should still be, because look at this.
Still be free.
You can still afford it, but your water not clean. Better than the people who can't afford water every day.
Yeah, exactly. How are they going? Because now I can't go afford to buy a 24 pack of water a week per se. We're gonna put me into a role play situation here. What am I gonna do when my kids are thirsty? Am I gonna go buy high fructose corn syrup and dump that into their bodies, give them diabetes? Or am I going to, have to say, okay, we're going to have to split this half and half. I can buy water every so often, but for some things, we're going to have to use the dirty tap water. Maybe make my coffee out of that dirty tap water. Maybe periodically, just because I have to make ends meet, my kids are thirsty, make lemonade or Kool-Aid out of that dirty tap water. Maybe have to cook with that dirty tap water. And no one buys enough water to do their dishes with fucking bottled water. And even the filters don't work 100% of the time here. And that's politicians, they come in just like all these nonprofits or all these businesses and these big shots. They come into Flint, promise you the world, take their handshake, take their picture, take their paycheck, and fuck off. And they leave you back where you started, if not in a worse place.
Well, that goes back to the people that you elected on council. Remember, it's a majority to get everything did. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really like, I see the people that's working, but I'm talking about the ones who not. Ain't nothing that we can do. All this stuff that's going on is because of them 5 voters who done created this madness, because ain't not one person got the integrity to say, hey, look, Liddell, hey, Quincy, hey, Candace, you see, she got right off in it. She jumped right here full into the fray.
Honestly, I think that we're gonna switch gears for a second since you brought up her name.
Yeah, because we got 3 minutes anyway.
Oh, dude, I still got more things to go through. We can go a little bit over today, right?
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
You have 106 already.
Fine.
Yeah.
Then we'll go through these two and we'll just mix them together, and we will leave Candace for next week.
Right.
Okay. So going off of what Marie said last night, Mr. Davis, the king, on the Winters Hall show, the one and only, they reminded you that they're going to tax you out. And we've seen it. We've seen our property taxes go up by a percentage or two. But I think on the back end of that, a lot of people forgot that they reassessed most of the properties here in town. So it isn't your house was, say, valued at $10,000 and they're going to charge you, random number here, guys, this isn't verbatim, 10%. That is $1,000. No, they now value your house at $1,500 or $15,000, and they're going to charge you 11%. It comes up to be a far higher number. That's how they're going to tax you out. So when he says, and listen to the man, listen to Mr. Davis, because he's got nothing to gain by telling you the truth, but he does it anyway. Or sorry, he's got nothing to gain by telling you a lie. He's not running for a seat. All he does is he sits on his podcast, he tells you his truth, and then he goes out and he enjoys making his music. So when he says, hold on to your property as long as you can, don't fall behind on your bills. Don't let them take your home. Because there's groups out there buying it. Like the young lady we saw earlier this week at council, who, through no fault of her own, she was giving the money to the person who actually owned the land, her uncle. For the taxes, she was paying those her damn self, giving the money to her uncle who was paying him for a while, and then it slipped. Instead of the land bank coming to her, knocking on her door and saying, hey, we're willing to sell you your home back, they put it into a bundle of occupied homes. Now, what that means is they're going to rent her own house to her, and they're going to do an inspection of it. They're going to do an inspection of all these homes that they just bought. And if they see any money's gone in there, what she was paying before is probably going to triple. I was on the phone with a councilwoman recently, and she said that there are a lot of people who want to come into Flint and buy property and renovate it, but it isn't for home ownership. They want to rent it out, and it's going to be far above what the people of Flint can afford. Remember when we were freaking out about $1,200 apartments, calling that affordable? Just wait until you see $1,500 to $1,800 two-bedroom homes. That's what they'll consider affordable, because it's a house, because it had a little bit of money on it. Oh, brand new roof? Now it's $2,000. Oh, you got laminate flooring? $2,500. New appliances, even higher. Because they're not coming here to help you. They're not coming here to increase home ownership in Flint. No, they're coming here to make their buck off of Flint. And then when Flint shrivels up, when those homes no longer have occupants, what are they going to do? Well, the same thing everyone else does. they're going to abandon them. They're going to let them get blighted. They're going to let them get torn down. And then they're going to buy up that property, that blank piece of land, and wait for a large developer to come in, buy up that land for a premium. And here's what it all comes down to. You see your city council people, and certain ones are always talking about doing the business of the city, doing the business of the city. Let me be honest with you guys. I give a fuck about the city. Because when they say doing the business of the city, it is about the city government. And when has the city government been about you lately? It hasn't. It is all about putting money into the hands and pockets of 5 or 6 entities that control Flint. It is about laundering government money, your taxes into those pockets. There is now an official difference between the business of the city and the business of the people. And when they say they're doing the business of the city, it means they are not doing your business and they're not trying to do right by you. It means they're trying to do right by someone who writes them a paycheck on the back end or promises a job. Just take a look at Allie. She was all about the business of the city until a job came up that was created specifically for her that didn't exist until she took it. Mickey, that'll close us out.
Oh, that's why you want to do it? Cool. Peace.